think it's worth it to get up every day and work on a dairy and live on a dairy because we feed the world and we're passionate about that.
My dad started in 1973. I've been doing it all my life, really. Great place to raise a family, and it's not a bad life. It's just 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Dairy farm consists of about 600 acres, milking 400 cows twice a day. We grow as much forage as possible. We got about 200 acres in hay and sorghum and ryegrass. We double crop as much as possible. Probably our best investment on this farm since I've been here is building the freestall barn. It has really helped us in keeping cows comfortable and keeping them cool. And if the cows are comfortable, they're going to produce milk better. Inside the freestall barn, they've got fans blowing on them that's temperature controlled. They've got mister spraying on their backs while they're eating, and that's temperature controlled. They have sand that stays fairly cool with the fans going on. They sleep in a sand bed, and they're very comfortable in the barn. We get to produce the highest quality milk we can.
This is just something important that, a lot of people don't think about on a daily basis.
I'm Judge Chambers, 5th generation dairy farmer from Georgia, and I'm dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land.
Yes, it's a passion to me. That's all I've ever wanted to be, was a dairy farmer.
My dad's a wonderful resource. He's had so much experience. My mom fills in a lot of times. We come together, we talk about it, we make decisions, and we'll go apart and do our own things.
My brother, he's in charge of herd health. I'm in charge of young stock and row crops and harvesting the silage.
We have our own different areas of interest, and we actually complement each other well.
I've enjoyed it, and if it wasn't for the next generation coming on, it wouldn't be something I could continue, but they are allowing me to live my dream. I'm Ed Coble. I'm a first-generation dairy farmer from Georgia. I'm dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, my land.
We've been farming here since 1950s. 3rd, 4th, and 5th generation now running it. We started out as just a small dairy. My mother and father started milking by hand. Dairies, moved into this county in the 1920s after the boll weevil pretty well wiped out the cotton. And it was just another way to go. When this land was suited for cornfields, we began growing corn and feeding milk cows with it. We have always had to work. It was not an option growing up. I got married in 1970 when I was in college and have the 3 children, and then I have 12 grandchildren. Children have just always been here and worked in the dairy, whatever part they would decide to take on. Some of my nephews work in the dairy, some of us work the fields, and the children have an opportunity to learn. They learn what business is, they learn what part that the money has in the operation, and to manage people, manage crop, manage cows. It's all part of it that we can just work together and have an environment that we enjoy. It has to be part of your life, the land, the cows, the crops, and it all keeps changing, and we have to just innovate with that we're given. I'm Heg Davis, 3rd generation dairy farmer from Georgia. I am dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land.
Farming has been my life since I was a boy. I've always enjoyed the country life. We have about 800 acres here. We milk average of about 500 cows.
I grew up on a dairy farm. My dad came to Georgia when I was 6 weeks old. When I was young, I started helping feed calves.
We have 10 children, ages from 21 to 1. And
we have chickens, we have horses, things the children enjoy doing, a few pigs, cows, calves, all kinds of stuff. The chores include the calves.
The girls get up and start their morning by feeding the baby calves. And they go out and feed each one individually until they're probably 4 or 6 weeks old. The little ones are a lot just working alongside mom or dad or a big brother or sister, and they're learning a lot just by watching.
Raising a family on a farm brings a sense of togetherness. We have to learn how to live together and work together peacefully, and it's a learning experience for all of us.
I say dairy farming is a good life for a family. Brings us together, there's time together. Physically they're healthy, mentally they're healthy. There's so much for them to do.
I'm Eldon Aberley, first-generation dairy farmer from Georgia, and I'm dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land.
The first thing really that took me back about life on a dairy is that there's triumphs and there's also heartbreaks. Dairy farming is not easy. We've had our ups and downs. It's a lifestyle that we've chosen, and we do it 365 days a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It's a lifelong commitment. Not growing up in a farming family, I really didn't experience the hard work and the long hours and the constantness of it. I think that it has provided valuable learning tools for our daughter. When I think about what she's taking from her dad being so rooted into his business and being such a hard worker, she'll walk away with knowing that whatever path she chooses to find as an adult, in order to be happy in life, to follow your passion, just like we did. I'm dedicated to dairying because it's a great way to raise a family and it provides a great quality of life. To discover more about modern dairy farming, please visit dedicatedtodairy.com.
I'm a veterinarian. I graduated from the University of Georgia in 2000, and I practiced full-time for 4 years. I loved to dairy and decided that that's what I wanted to do full-time. It's very important for dairy cattle to have a balanced diet. Half of their feed needs to come from a forage source. The other half would be more of a concentrate. Behind me is distiller's grain. It's relatively high in protein. It's got a moderate amount of starch. It's got a high fat level as well. When a peanut's taken to a peanut butter plant, it's skinned and made into peanut butter, and this is the waste from that process. And they make for a great feed. Agriculture is a very small industry. We try to help each other out and work together as much as possible. It just makes economic sense when we're this closely intertwined. I'm Adam Graft, a dairy farmer from Georgia, and I'm dedicated to dairy. My cows, my milk, and my land.
We're in Leesburg, Georgia, at Oak Hill Dairy Farm. Where I live, my home, before the house was built, there was a big oak tree there. And that's how it got its name. Oak Hill started about 40-some years ago. My father came down here from Fort Myers, Florida, where he had a construction company, and he wanted to invest in some more land. He came down here and he bought some property in this area, and then eventually a small dairy came up for sale. And that's where we are right now. I was fortunate enough to have my kids still be interested in it and working here and help it grow. I can't imagine doing anything else. It's what we've done, and it keeps my family together.
I do what I do because I love the animals. My lifestyle is the animals.
When you love animals, you have a big heart. And when you raise animals, you want to see them healthy and happy.
Every day that I get up and come to work, there's another challenge. There's always a challenge or a problem you've got to address, and that's what I love most about it, the challenge.
I think any dairyman, he wants the same product that's safe, healthy, wholesome on his table as your table.
It's nature's perfect food. I mean, that's what babies are raised on, whether it's animals, humans. Milk is the most nutritious, natural food out there.
My kids drink it, eat it. That's what we produce.
I'm Marty Erickson.
I'm Sandy Watson.
I'm David Bird.
And I'm dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land.
Technology is awesome here at Hillcrest. We're at the cutting edge in Georgia on technology. We put in automated cow brushes. When the cows walk up and barely touch them, they swing off center and start rotating. Hey, they get a nice massage at no charge anytime they want one. Transponders around their neck, it monitors who is standing in each stall in that barn. If for some reason she's off milk, it will alarm us and let us know so that we can further check on this cow. My personal phone, it has every cow in the herd on my phone. I can enter it, bring that cow up, look at when she calved, any health traits, anything I need to know, any personal notes on that cow are right there in my own personal device. It helps me stay one-on-one. I can spend more time with my cows and less time doing other things on the farm with all the extra technology that we have here. I'm Mark Rogers, and I'm dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land.
I'm a second-generation dairy farmer, but living on a third-generation family-owned farm. Dad operated the dairy and obviously had all of the children help on the farm.
Daddy and his brother Oscar started milking in 1954 here at this location and been milking cows here ever since.
He passed away in 2002. Jerry and I were already working with Dad and took over operation of the farm.
We own 300 acres and rent another 100 acres and milk 130 cows, and then we have probably close to 100 heifers. Our cows, between milkings, they can go to pasture, which is located on the opposite side of the road from the dairy barn. Even back when it was a dirt road, we had an underpass under the road then, so it's just part of the history of the farm.
I think people have a certain way they think about a farmer, but their American farmer has got to be very intelligent. You really need to be an accountant, you need to be a veterinarian, you need to be a nutritionist, you need to be a soil scientist, you need to be a mechanic, but I don't want to be a mechanic.
That's all I ever really want to do, something different every day and outside all the time.
I'm Dixie Truelove, a dairy farmer from Georgia, and I'm dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land.
We're in Eatonton, Georgia, at my dairy farm, Jeff Wooten Dairy. We run a 400-acre farm here that's owned, and about 800 acres that we cut rake and bale hay on, and we got heifers on those farms also. We milk about 240 cows. We got an employee base of about 4 people outside of the family. And you're looking at the family part would be me, Lisa, Buck, and Anna, and my younger brother, Joe. A lot of my friends, you know, they go to Las Vegas, Atlantic City, and Biloxi, and do a little gambling and everything. All I do is walk out the front door every day and, you know, wonder about the weather. We wonder about the price of fuel, price of feed. My farm is just like everybody else's backyard. We keep it clean, no trash. We keep everything up to date. It's a full-time job. Like on Saturday and Sundays, you know, everybody says, "Are you off today?" I said, "No, if I'm right here, I'm not off." I enjoy the dairy business. I enjoy doing what I do. It's a reward at the end of the day to know that you are putting out a good product.
We have received quality awards for our milk. As a consumer, you need to know that the milk that you buy in the grocery stores is quality milk. I mean, it's good. Farm families take care of their animals. They're going to make sure that you've got good milk. That's what our farm is about. That's important to us.
I'm Jeff Wooten. I'm a 4th-generation dairy farmer from Georgia, and I'm dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land. I grew up in dairy farming, and I've done it all my life. I graduated from University of Georgia, and my daddy, he insisted that I need to come back, and so it didn't take me but a year or two, and I got hooked in it, and I'm still here, and that's been 40 years ago. My dad started the farm in 1947, and I think he milked about 15 cows. Right now we're milking about 230. We have about 70 dry cows.
Our farm, we own approximately 500 acres. We farm another probably 600 acres.
We grow probably 70% of our feed. We grow corn, silage, sorghum, a lot of millet that we green chop through the summer. We grow about 60 acres of corn. Darryl Green and Jordan Reed, they help us with the farming, and Bobby, my son, he tends to the milking herd and see that they're milked and took care of and make sure that good quality milk leaving out of here.
We start here about 5:30 in the morning, and we'll start back again about 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon. My job is really the dairy barn, looking after calves, feeding calves, keeping things clean, mainly the milking.
We don't confine our cows. We have about 35 or 40 acres that they can roam on and go lounge around, and we got a cooling barn there that we keep them cool. Usually I enjoy doing it, but there's days that I wish I was doing the other things, but really it's just a good life, and don't get me wrong, it's a job more than most people want to fool with, but it's the kind of job that's enjoyable.
Farming and particular dairy farming is so labor intensive. You are together all the time. You learn to respect everybody. You learn to value a nickel, a dime.
I enjoy it. I mean, it's just, it keeps everybody together.
It is hard work, and it has to be in your heart, and it has to mean something to you, and he loves doing it. He loves doing it.
I'm a dairy farmer because that's what I was raised up doing, and it's just a way of life, and we all like it. I'm Emery Young, a second-generation dairy farmer from Georgia, and I'm dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land.